position to encourage single parent families, also to create awareness for us as communities, families, friends. Sometimes we can be so insensitive about certain issues. So it's for all of us. We are learning every day. I have an amazing guest tonight. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who celebrated my birthday yesterday. Celebrating my birthday took a new turn when I lost my husband 12 years ago. So my husband had passed on just after my birthday on the 23rd of March. So whenever I'm celebrating, it's always been a reflective celebration, filled with gratitude, you know, um, yes, for me. So around this time around, I thought it was a good idea for me. I just wanted to dedicate this time around for this birthday. I wanted to dedicate this particular chat. This is one of many chats to come, to dedicate this to widows. If you're a widow out there and you've lost your husband, maybe yours is still fresh. Mine was 12 years ago. Maybe yours is still fresh, or you're a widower, you have lost you've lost your wife. We are out here with our stories to encourage you that you are not on your own. All the negative press, all the stigma, all the pressure that we go out there in society, we are out here tonight to reassure you that you can make it, you can get up, you can pick yourself back up. So this is my birthday special, to dedicated to all our widows out there. I have an amazing woman with me here tonight. It's amazing how, everybody can come out. You see somebody, they're looking nice, they have their makeup. You don't get to know people's stories until you happen to bump into their stories. I've been following this amazing woman of God. I have been following her for quite a while, and I discovered she too was a widow. Now, Mrs. I'm sure her full name is Ngozi, but Mrs. Goze Udemezwe. I'm going to pronounce it right. Udemezwe, you know. Um, yes. She is a niche coach. She's an attorney. She's also a niche coach, a human rights advocate. She's a writer and a public speaker. Yeah, so just forget the fact that she's a widow. We come into that. She has a bachelor's degree in law from Enugu State University of Science and Technology. She also holds a Master of Laws degree in Human Rights Law from the University of London. Wow. She obtained a certificate in International Human Rights from the International Institute of Human Rights, Strasbourg, France. She also co-founded Healing Hearts Widow Support Foundation with her late husband, Chief Emeka Udemezwe. It's just, it's weird. Little did she know she was going to find herself in this position. Before I forget, she's also an author. You can see her book is on there, right? So she founded the Wevolution Coaching Services, where she provides services to help the bereaved and those in pain over loss to navigate and evolve. She is currently sitting on the board of two international nonprofit organizations based in Chicago, Illinois, and Kampala, Uganda, and 6 national nonprofits also. Her work has received national and global recognitions. Wow. She sits on the administrative board of Hope Restoration Ministry based in New York as a volunteer administrator. Now, in July 2016, her citation was read on the floor of the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C., in recognition of the work she does with her team on widows' issues. So in March 2018, she received the Danny Glover Award in New York for her work at the grassroots level among widows and their children. She's been featured by BBC Ibro and BBC World Service Focus on Africa on interviews to discuss her book and work with the widows. I think we have few clips of her videos we'll show as we go on. In 2020, she was featured in the alumni magazine of University of London International Programs. Her career as a public speaker had taken her to platforms. This is the reason why I'm privileged to have her on here today in different parts of the world. She has also spoken on local platforms and volunteered in different community outreaches to teach human rights to the indigents. She is a Gold Star alumni of U.S. Department of State, International Visitors Leadership Program, and a fellow of the African Leadership Institute of West Africa under the Aspen Global Leadership Program. Through her various initiatives, she currently leads a Pan-African mission to change the narrative about widowhood and help widows to rise and shine and be all that God wants them to be. This mission is titled Widowed Not Withered. As you can see us, yes, we are widows, but we've not been withered by the special grace of God. And it has become her slang and hashtag used by widows across the globe. Thank you so much, woman of God, Madam Goze Udomes. We will welcome you to the platform. Please say hi to our viewers.
Hello, good evening. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much, Ma. Wow. I just could not help but the your biography is fully it's fully loaded. But like I was just saying to our viewers, it just shows that we are unstoppable regardless of the situations that we have found ourselves in. So I think I'm gonna let you have the platform. I will come in as and when I can. One of the things that attracted, that got me attracted because I bumped into your work. I think when you came to London last year, I was not able to see you face to face. I was trying to see if I can get your book. I think I connected through Dr. Sandra Jesus, when she was advertising your book launch. And since then, I started looking and I was just monitoring all your moves. I saw the wonderful works, and every day you will come on social media to plead a cause for an orphan or for a widow. And I was thinking, this woman, she must have her own issues, but she's passionate about looking after other people. So that really touched me. And as a result, I say, you know what, this year I strategically prayed. I said, Lord, I need the right people this year on this platform so that we can minister to the people that need to be out from, every hole, from every pit, those that need to be delivered. Because the word of God says the Spirit of the Lord is upon us. He has appointed us to preach good news, to set the captives free. What God has done for you and I is just by His grace. But we know a lot of people are in similar situations and they are struggling as we speak. They feel like they've lost everything. Nothing is happening. Woman of God, how did you arrive here? From being a widow to delivering and just intervening on the lives of many.
Thank you so much. Before, music is a bit. Music is not like yeah. Thank you. How did I get here? How did I arrive here? I like the question. I want to say that I am grateful for this platform, for this opportunity to be here this evening. I'm not taking it for granted. And I really look forward to meeting you. I'm hoping to be in your city soon. I'm itching to be in London soon. I'm bored. When I'm bored, I take off. And you are my 5 things to do in London. You are on the first 5 priority. And so thank you for bringing me here. How did I get here? I didn't just start getting involved in widows issues because my husband died. The foundation was set up in 2008. Prior to 2008, I had done quite a number of stuff um, with widows and for widows and on widows issues. As a child, I had this passion for widows, which I never knew would translate into what I'm doing today. I can remember I used to take stuff from the house and hide in my school bag to drop off on my way to high school in the village for a couple of widows. One in particular lost her husband to electrocution. And I used to see her in black at times, looking um, dejected and rejected, that kind of battered, shattered um, outlook. But I never knew that it was going to be something that I would do on a regular basis. And so, God also, I keep thanking God for my marriage, though it didn't last for as long as I would have loved it to last. But it was a platform for my gift and my skills and my talent in handling with those issues to be developed and enhanced. My husband played a major, major role. He was the vice chairman of the board of trustees, and he played a fantastic role in what we've done. I don't come out to support people because I don't have my issues, but I found out that in helping others, you help yourself. How? What you make happen for other people, God makes it happen for you. And so, for every need that I find myself take care of a widow, when it gets to my own turn, even without asking, God ensures that He's taken care of. And so, I remember the day my husband spoke to me and said to me, "You keep giving to the widows. There's no structure." He was a businessman, a successful businessman. He said to me, "There's no structure. Why don't you open this up for other people to also be able to help?" And there's no way you can do it without having a proper organization registered with proper accounting and all of that. And so he asked me to, he advised, and I set up a foundation. This advice was in 2006, but I ignored it. But in 2008, we had to do that because it wasn't then limited to my own funding or to the family business fund. We were able to now have other people in the same space to provide help to the widows. And so when I think back, it's actually 20 years this year that I started getting involved in widows issues professionally, not the one I was doing as a child. And stealing, because when you take what is not yours, it's stealing. Stealing from my family food stuff to give to the widows. I mean, professionally, May 2021 will be 20 years, 2 decades of that work. And I have no regret. Did I have moments that I wanted to walk away? Yes. Did I have moments like the burnout Elijah had and I wanted God to end it? Yes, I've had those moments. But what I do is to encourage myself in the Lord and keep moving. And I remember when my husband died, you know, each and every one of us, we have friends of Job. You can't, you can't live on earth without having those kinds of friends of Job. I had a few of those friends who said to me, "Oh, the evil spirits that follow widows killed your husband." Quite a number of them now, between 2010 and today, my husband died. They are also widowed. So the evil spirit has also started following them. The evil spirit that killed your husband, that follow widows killed your husband. So shut it down. Shut it down. Don't run widows issues again. Get involved in widows issues. That was 2013. But between 2013 and today, we have touched more lives. We have many more partners on social media, friends that are off social media, partners of the foundation of social media. And it taught me a lot of lessons. When God gives you an assignment, focus on the assignment, focus on the person that gave you the assignment. Don't listen to side talks. Don't take advice from friends of Job. Don't listen to Sambalat and Tobiah. Because some of the widows we deal with, are dealing with broken walls, broken walls, shattered walls, that you need to hold their hands and they do the rebuilding. Not like we are all rebuilding for every widow. There are widows that know how to do it, but lack the strength and the courage and the energy, because widowhood drains you. What widowhood does is that it drains you. It drains the life out of you. And so first year, second year, third year, as you get out of it, as you begin to recover yourself, all we do is to hold your hand and help you and make sure that, assuming you try to fall back, that we are there to catch you. And so that's basically what I've done. And I remember those days people used to say to my husband, "Oh, Gozie is always on Facebook. Oh, she's always on Facebook." And my husband would just laugh and say to me, "These people don't understand that this Facebook is your pulpit, is like your platform." And some of the people that used to complain in those days, somehow they have benefited from my being always on Facebook. And so it's important that when you know your purpose, when you know your assignment, when you know where God is leading you. I was made to do this. God designed me to do what I'm doing. When you know where God has called you, it's irrelevant what anybody thinks, as long as you are doing what God has called you to do. And so that's how we've got here. And within the foundation, we run major programs. We look at the health of the widow. What I do on my wall on Facebook is to pick widows that are Facebook friends who need help, and to pick widows or select them that will need help. It's not the work of the foundation. This one is me, Gozie. The foundation is run. I relinquished the day-to-day running to somebody else because I had too much to do, and I still have too much to do. And so we run programs under health. And so under the health, what we have is the medical mission. The other photograph that came up was a medical mission in Enugu State that we ran in partnership with the Hope Restoration Medical Mission. And that's Ife is the head of the medical mission of Hope Restoration Ministry. It's a ministry based in New York, and they are partners. We've been partners for years, for more than a decade. And so they fly in from New York. She's a nurse. They come in with nurses, come in with medication, and we go with them to the communities. We do that under the health. We also keep medication in the office. We have medications in the office. If you're a diabetic widow and you are known to be diabetic, you have prescription from the doctor, but you cannot afford your medication. We always have medication. There are very common diabetes medication in Nigeria, the glucophage, the Daolil, that some poor widows can't even afford to buy. So we have them in the office, and we make sure that if you come in here, you get it. Oh, if you are hypertensive, we keep medication for hypertensive widows, the known common medications, and you must have been certified by a doctor. It's not like you walking in to tell us, "Oh, I'm diabetic." And we have a head of medical mission. I don't get involved. We have a consultant pediatrician who has the medical mission arm, and he's also an Anglican priest, Venerable Kenechukwu. And what he does is to also pick cases. When we go on medical missions, if we find a case that we need to get involved in, we raise funds, or we take funds from the foundation, and we provide further medical attention, and we send the person to the hospital, and the foundation pays. Now, under financial empowerment, economic empowerment, we help these widows, especially those that had existing businesses before their husbands died and suddenly died, and suddenly they are now single parents, struggling, paying rent, paying electricity bills, water bills, train the children single-handedly. At times they eat into their capital. And so what we do is to be like a buffer, a kind of support. At times we remove the rent, the responsibility of rent. We could do 2 years rent, so that in that 2 years, they're able to get themselves together. At times we support them under the education scheme, because if you help a widow without the children being okay, you haven't done much. And so we have the widows who Currently, we have 63 children right now who are being funded by different partners in different parts of the world. We have partners in the UK, we have partners in America, we have partners in Nigeria, across the globe, who support these children. As far as India, we have partners over there who help to pay the fees. Now, food is a major challenge for a lot of widows. And so when that comes to our attention, we ensure that we make provision. But in that case, it's temporal. So we have our temporary measures, short term, we have medium term, we have long term kind of goals. Let me be honest with you. A lot of the programs we have run took a new dimension after my husband died. Because when you wear the shoes of widowhood, you understand. When you wear the shoes, you understand. I I was married to a man who provided. And so the monies I had while he was still alive, yeah, I used it to, support him, to support the home, to do what I wanted to do. And he wasn't the kind of husband that would tell me, submit your salary. No, he never did. So he provided the major. I was like playing a supporting role. And then suddenly he died, and the major and the minor fell on me. And so if a woman calls me now to say, like, Gozie, we don't have rice, I will understand. Because I've also had moments in this that we ran out and then we provided. The difference between myself and some of the people we support is that when I run out, I make the provision. There are some of them that the children will in the morning, they will not have food to eat.
Yeah.
They will not even know. You know what I mean? They will not even have. Last November, we had an outreach, which was initiated by my 7-year-old daughter. She told me while we were in New York that she wanted to run an outreach for widows' children. And so when we got home in September, in November, we had an outreach for widows' children. And those things that we normally take for granted. I don't take beverage. I don't take all those chocolate drinks for health reasons. But there are places in homes where some children have not had it, even when their fathers were alive. And so we made provision for that, even if it's for a month or two. We made provisions for basics. We gave them clothes, fabrics for Christmas. And I remember one of the widows walked up to me and said, "You mean my child is going to wear a brand new African fabric, like something like this?" I said, "Why do you say?" He said, "Oh, since the husband died 6 years ago, all they have done was to buy from secondhand. You know what I mean?" And so doing this work, I became more appreciative of the blessings I have. I became more appreciative because what you take for granted, what I live in my own home, I live in my own house. I have tenants that pay rent to me. You know, I don't have you know what I mean? I don't have leaking
Yes.
roof. My food store is not empty. My children are okay. Those basic problems. And then you go out there and you find a widow who withdrew her child from school for $20 school fees. For 50, you know what I mean? And so
Yep.
it made me, I used to drive in here and complain, about the building, about the interior decoration. Now I drive in and I say, thank God that I have a roof over my head. Because
Wow.
walking opened my eyes. And now, after my husband died, I designed a program which comes under the program. So apart from health, the education, the economic empowerment, we also run program on sensitization and awareness creation. I remember sometime in 2010, we were funded by the US consulate to print simplified version of the widowhood law in my state. And they funded the project. We met first class traditional rulers, had conversations with them. We produce IEC materials to let them know that widows' issues shouldn't just be swept under the carpet. It shouldn't be swept under
Mm-hmm.
the carpet. It should be issues that should be talked about. And a highly successful program. And the fact that it was funded by the U.S. the Public Affairs section in Lagos, drew some attention because the traditional rulers were interested. Oh, the U.S. consulate. So if it was important to them for them to have put in their money, it meant it was something to be talked about. Now, after that, in the state where I live, where I was born, which is more like home to me, we got funding from Mama Cash. Mama Cash is a funding agency in Netherlands. They funded us to print the Enugu State Widowhood Law, have it simplified, print IEC materials, and we ran a lot of sensitization programs, more than 10 communities, met with traditional rulers, met with the community gatekeepers. It ended up successful. We got another funding from Virginia Gildersleeve in New York on this same program. So a lot of sensitization, because if you don't know your rights, you won't know when those rights are violated. And so some of the widows in the communities, some of them knew that their rights were violated, but they didn't know what to do. And so that's why we have under our programs, we have the legal aid program, where we have lawyers, well-known lawyers, well-established lawyers, who sign up with us. And when we have such matters, they take it up on the spot and then begin to provide backup. Because for a poor widow who hasn't fed her children, who is being disinherited, or who needs support to do probate documentation, especially for men that died without will, or men that left money in their account, that the wives will need to have access to. Some of these widows are afraid to go to the probate registry. And so we provide that support. We assign a lawyer to them. I used to do it. I remember in the early days, I used to do it by myself. You will see me running around the probate registry, but God has been kind that now I do a lot more of supervision and fundraising. We have people, we have volunteers, we have a team of workers who work on a daily basis. And now the program, the newest of our programs, apart from the legal aid and the education, the health programs and every other thing, is the Adopt a Widow program. Because let me say something to you. When a widow is sure that every month some money will come into her account to support what she's making, and the impression that widows are lazy is not true. It's just that some of them produce too little for the bills. Even myself, I do stuff. I run a soup kitchen. I make soup, my local soup, the region I come from, we have our special soup. I make that soup and sell. And my clients are high profile people. This morning I sent soup to Lagos, and my client is a man, helicopter charter business. So you can imagine the kind of money such clients pay, because so you can imagine what they pay. I do that. I work in a law firm. I have my own private law practice. I am 21 years at the bar. I do my consultancies on a personal level. I do a lot of other things. I sell my books. My books sell. My last book is almost sold out, and I'm about to reprint. My first book is, I'm struggling to even find 5 copies. And I make good money out of my speaking engagement. Yet, there are times I run out. Now, imagine a widow who has nothing. Imagine a widow who is unable to support herself.
Wow.
And so,
I just want to pause you there,
what the
woman
Adopt
of
a Widow
God.
program does.
I just wanted to pause you there. It's like you've given us so much information that we need to digest. And I really want our viewers to just pay attention. I think viewers, if you've listened to this amazing woman, she has not even complained a single bit of her own situation. From the beginning up to now, she has just been listing the impact she has had on the lives of people, obviously with the help of others. This is the whole point we are here. Not that we have it all, you know. I think she's a widow for about 10 years, 10
8 years.
years or so. 8 years,
Eight.
yeah. I am a widow of 12 years. It's not that it's something we are proud of, but it's just to let us know that events happen and it can happen to people right around the globe. God is not selecting today, say, you are not part of it. No, it happens. As we speak, it is happening. Some of us are managing to look after ourselves, to look after things, and we do go through challenges despite things happening for us. But there are others who are struggling, even though, and now when we say this, not necessarily if you're living in Europe, I'm sure there are some parts of the welfare system that can help a bit, even though it's not easy, right? But we are talking about some of these indigents, especially in third world countries. Now, Madam Goze is from Nigeria. Now, I am from Sierra Leone. Maybe somebody might be thinking, oh, why did you not go to Sierra Leone? Well, I do a lot of things in Sierra Leone, just for your information, but I also love to support when others are doing something impactful to impact the lives of others. When God is ready to favor you, he will decide to favor you everywhere. So I am calling on us today. As you can see, this woman has a family, she has a children, she has a life to sort out, but she is passionate about looking after others. In my language, they say to cover other women's shame. So I'm encouraging us tonight, please, the account details. Thank you so much to my multimedia. I really, really appreciate. The account details are on. Now, if you celebrated my birthday yesterday, I am dedicating my birthday to this course, Healing Hearts Widows Support. Please, Widows Support Foundation. The Nigerian bank account is on there, 0071371873. The bank is Access Bank PLC. And also, if you live in the state, United States of America, you can put a token, please, to the Zelle account. It's 6462512995. I am appealing to you. I didn't come to ask anything for my birthday, and you can see this money is not going to me. The money is going straight to Healing Hearts. As you can see, this woman of God, she puts a lot of her own money. I see her almost every day coming on Facebook. You see that she's campaigning to pay an orphan's school fees. There is somebody right now that's in university that wants to finish off well. She's already campaigning for that beautiful young lady so that she does not drop out from uni. Some of those things we take for granted, but I'm telling you, it is valuable to others. So please, I am appealing to us tonight. Let us support the great work that this woman is doing. Fund a widow. You can also decide to say, okay, I want to fund one widow, or I want to fund two widows. And I just want to encourage us, if you're supporting someone, because sometimes some of us, we have the idea that, oh, maybe she has a man in the corner. There are some statements that we make that can be quite insensitive. Not all widows are loose. And even if a widow was vulnerable, a lot of women are vulnerable. They find themselves in vulnerable situations. So you first of all want to find out the factors that will lead a woman. And again, it boils down to trying to survive. That's not the appropriate way. That is not the right way. But many women will be looking for means of survival, and as a result, they end up in the wrong hands because they are vulnerable. I'm appealing to us, please. The account details are on there. Please sow your token. If you celebrated my birthday yesterday, and if you are on this show, we have about 500 viewers, fans on this page. And obviously, out of my page and Madam Gozi's and fans, please do support the great work that she's doing. The account details are on there. For those of you living in United Kingdom, you can reach me if you want to fund a widow. You want to fund the widow, you want to fund the widow's child, and all those funds will go straight to Madam Goze. She's doing a fantastic work. Right. So I really just wanted to pause. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is my page. Don't judge me. I'm a single parent, and this chat is dedicated today to widowers because it's 12 years now that I've been widowed. Not that I don't believe I'm gonna stay like this forever, but at the moment that's the situation. But I want to help other women. You can see us, we are widowed but not withered. A lot of women are withered as we speak. A lot of women are feeling bitter, like Naomi in the book of Ruth. A
Yeah.
lot of women are feeling they've lost their dignity. So I am appealing to you, fans, viewers, if you're on here or if you happen to bump into this chat today, please do support us to support to support those widows that are trying. Trust me, if there's a widow in Africa, I know they go to the bush to cut wood, to fetch wood, they go to fetch water. Some are struggling to sell plantain on a tray just to have 1 meal a day for their children. So I know
Yeah.
exactly what the woman of God is talking about. I know exactly. So please, I'm appealing to us. I'm relying on you. I know we're living in challenging times, but whatever little you have, please don't buy that shoes online. Don't buy the bag online. I know it's good to treat yourselves, but please remember the widows. Fund a widow. Fund an orphan of a widow. Let's support the fantastic work that is done by another widow. Goze, I'm going to come back to you. I have some fantastic statements here. Somebody said you are a great woman, not only to widows, obviously, because look at the great work that you are doing. Welcome to all our viewers that are on here. Woman of God, I just wanted to ask a question. You know, um sometimes some people say some funny things like, oh, she's too busy, so those things that she's doing is to make her not feel her situation. How have you coped with widowhood? Because like we speak right now, other women are struggling, or maybe other men, but I know the reason why we are focusing this discussion on women. Generally, it is women that suffer. We are not saying that the men don't suffer, but when it comes to stigma, the women go through stigma. When it comes through the suppression, in our communities, it's easy for a woman to be accused that they are a witch, they are the ones that kill their husband. Why are the husbands never accused that they kill their wives? Only in few situations you hear stories like this. How have you coped amidst the pressure of not being married? People ask, when are you going to marry? Just the pressure and the challenges that comes within our communities. And when we say communities, from church to anywhere to family, how have you coped?
Thank you, my sister. You see, I lived widowhood vicariously before my husband died because I interacted with a lot of widows. I remember those days my husband used to call this house widow's half house, like a half, and he used to say to me, make sure nobody takes over my room because every part of the house is taking over. I heard their stories. I listened to them. I learned some of those things that they went through. I could remember some of them talking about loneliness. I could remember some of them calling me to say, can I spend the weekend with you? This house is too lonely. My children have gone back to school. So I knew those issues even before it happened to me. And so it was like I was prepared. But is one ever prepared for this, fully prepared? But I knew those issues, and the pressure is real. The pressure is real. First of all, suddenly you are just all by yourself. You know, yeah, the children are there, but it's not the same. It's not the same especially when you've had a good marriage.
Yeah.
When you've had a good marriage, even the ones with bad marriages, there must be something in the man that you will miss. There must be
Yep.
something in the man, even
Yep.
if it's the quarrel, even if it's the quarrel, there must be
Yes.
and so
Oh.
of finding yourself all by yourself, and then the pressure of I haven't really been stigmatized Because the people that know me that if you stigmatize me, you know, you can't do that. So I haven't really suffered those kind of all those kind of dragging accusation and draining all of those kind of stuff. No, I haven't suffered that. But I have worked with widows that suffer it. I think people already have the impression that I will drag you before you drag me, so they back off. And it's better to back off because I already have my own issues. You know, my daughter had just matriculated, had her university matriculation. She moved from microbiology to electronics engineering. The morning her father died at a minute to midnight, the next day she had her matriculation, and she didn't know that her father was there. And so she left the matriculation hall and was with him. And then she called me to ask me, where is dad? I said, where your dad is, he can't be reached. Nobody can reach him. He said, oh, was he at the war college? I said, well, it's beyond that. And it took me time. It took a lot out of me to get to the point where, we could talk about what happened and everything. And then my son was in JS3, and then I had a little child on the way. And so I had my hands full. The pressure of widowhood is real. And then the society, especially the men from my tribe. Let me give you an example. I brought in an electrician to fix my generator. And so he came in here and then he looked at the generator and then he turned to me and told me he wanted to speak to Oga. Oga means my husband.
Your
and
husband.
I said, why do you want to speak to my husband? I bought the generator. And he said that those kind of things are better discussed with men. And I said, who told you that there has to be a man? So he had seen the size of my house, seen the size of the compound. And, stuff like that could make a woman break down. And so I told him, I said, get out. I told him, I said, go. If you don't think I am
capable enough to deal with the situation.
He wanted to talk to a man about a generator I paid for. I bought with my money, 100%. And so those kind of situations, you face them. You go to a place, they want you to get a letter from your husband, or they want you to present approval for your husband. Even the church, you go to church, they're having their money someday, and they're asking the husbands to come and stand behind their wives. That's okay. It's okay. But it's okay for me to also back off and stay home and not go to church. And then in some places, these young widows, if you hear what they go through, how they are stigmatized, even in the church, how they are stigmatized by their friends. But personally, I haven't had that stigmatization in the church because you can't stigmatize stigmatization itself. You can't. My son will always say to me, Mom, you cannot shame the shameless. I stigmatize widows. So already my voice is loud and is out there, but there are widows that go through that. Now, let me tell you the pressure a lot of widows face. A lot of women are not financially independent. What has helped me was that my husband allowed me to be me. A lot of men, especially men in Africa, you need to hear this. Allow your wives to do that job that she's passionate about. Don't tell her to stay home and be a housewife. Even if she's going to stay home to take care of the children, allow her to run her business. And you woman, there are women that their husbands allow, but they are not accountable and capable enough. Stand on your feet. Your husband is not Methuselah. He will not live forever. He might be providing everything. Now he's alive. And you are not providing any. What if he dies? How will you be able to pick up and take care of your children and even take care of yourself? And so I have had all those kind of moments, the traditional dragging, nobody dragged me traditionally because there's nothing to drag. But the area that has been a major challenge for me as a person is what next? Because I tell myself, am I going to just sit like this and be bearing the toga of widow? What happens to remarrying? And so I consider it. I've had it as a conversation with my children. Floris, are you still there? I've had it as a conversation with my children. And I have said to them, and so, these are things we don't talk about, and we have to talk about them. I told them at some point I have to remarry because the loneliness is real. It is so real. It is so real. I've told them that at some point, I'm just turning 50. I'll be 50 in May. Maybe another 5 years. I can.
You look gorgeous. You look gorgeous.
So, do you know what else I have done? I have loaded myself with a lot of work. Right here, where I am right now, is a work desk in my bedroom. And so those times that I know, like early mornings when I used to gist with my husband and we gossip and laugh, I've converted those empty times to time that I work. I do a lot of writing. I write articles. I do a lot of stuff. I do my Facebook. It takes a lot out of me to keep up with my Facebook posts. I do blogging on my website. And so I've replaced it with work. That way, nobody will say, oh, I don't visit people's houses. Not because they did anything wrong, but I decided to mind my business.
Yep.
Especially friends that are married. Because there's a trend, and before you know it, somebody will say you are eyeing their husband. So if you want to see me, you can hang out anywhere. Or you can come to my house, but I'm not going to come.
I am with you, ma. I am with you. Woman of God. Woman of God. I am getting text messages that
Yes.
we need you back here next Sunday, because I don't think today is going to be enough for us to finish this conversation. And I just knew that today was not going to be enough. Because you've touched on some other topics that we really need to enlarge on. We need to expand on. The topic of loneliness, sometimes the accusations, the topic of remarriage, doing other things with your skills and talents as a woman. I think I'm getting messages here that we need you next Sunday, ma. So I am going to book you now, and it has to flow. I think I want us to pause here, so that our multimedia can just take us through fans. Madam Goze has loaded us tonight. We have to be a blessing. If you be a blessing to the work that she's doing, then you have blessed me. And I believe, that is one part of scripture that the Lord wants us to fulfill, to look after widows and to look after orphans. It's in the book of James. So I'm not preaching to you what is not. It's in the book of James. That is one of the requirements that the Lord requires from us as one of the true religion that you really want to practice, is to look after the orphans and look after the widows. If you bless the work that the woman of God is doing right now, you've been a blessing to me. And whatever little, I love the Tesco adage that every little helps. Oh, I love that adage. Your $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 can do something for that widow, can do something for that widow's child that is about to drop out from school and from university. Please, I'm appealing to us tonight, for all my friends living in the state, please drop your seeds, so your token. Those of you living here in UK, I'm going to come after you. Yeah. By the time I finish collecting £5 each from everybody, or £10, please do support us. Let us support this foundation. For those of you that know me, I am a fan of charitable causes. I support a lot of charities, and I've seen where people are actively, fighting for the rights of others, for the welfare and the well-being of others. So please, sow your seed, reach to me, those of you in the UK, but for those of you in Nigeria, that's the details, and I will put the details as well on my wall, so that people can continue to make their contributions. I'm just going to ask our multimedia if we can, where can we get your book, ma? Where can we get your book? Any of your books available online?
There's a bookstore. I am not selling on Amazon for very personal reasons. There's a bookstore in Lagos and Abuja, and they deliver worldwide. Roving Heights Bookstore in Lagos. Yeah.
So I think people can contact you on Facebook, and they can message you on Messenger if they would like to have a copy of your book. And hopefully, when you come to UK, I will send a message out for anybody that wants your book. They can contact us. They can contact me, and I will take it from there.
Yes, I have copies of my book in London, in central London, and I have copies in New York.
Okay. I will communicate with you and
Yeah.
we can sort that out there. I will see how people can contact me to get a copy. If you buy the book, then you know you're helping towards Madame Goze's work. As you can see, her money is not for her and her family only. Her money is helping the lives of other women that not that they are not working hard, but they are really struggling. So I really want to thank you all so very much. You know, this platform is to celebrate. Don't judge me. I'm a single parent. If you would like to have a copy of my own book, you know, you see, because of our passion, sometimes we even forget to, you know, but if you would like to have a copy of my own book, you can have my book by contacting me and I will get you a copy. All the details are on there. And also, it's also on Amazon, but you can contact me if you want the physical hard copy of my book. Don't judge me. I'm a single parent. Like the man of God said, I'm going to tap into her grace. I'm thinking of so many books already in my head. But woman of God, I am sorry to say we might have you again next week. I think we need to round it up nicely for this first segment because I believe this is one of many chats. But this really was dedicated to widows as a result of my birthday that the Lord has graced me yesterday, 46 years. You look so good, you're gonna be 50. God has graced me with 46 years. I know many women have not come out since they lost their husband. So it's by the special grace of God that we are here. And we want to use our testimony. So if you're a widow out there, you want to share your story, you know, connect with us. Connect with us. I'm going to try and see how I can tap into Madame Goze's. I know she's busy, but we can sort out some networking events, maybe on Zoom, so that we can support, especially for those widows here in the UK and maybe in the States. So, woman of God, just one last word from you tonight because we are coming back next week. So just one last word from you tonight.
I just want to say to the widowed, whether male or female, you only lost your spouse. You are not dead. And that means you are widowed, but you are not widowed. And for you out there who has a widowed person around you, don't judge them because you don't wear their shoes. Love them. Don't judge them. Thank you so much. And see you on
Thank
Sunday.
you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Every one of you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sandra Jesus. Thank you, Master Duarte, Lady Elizabeth, Lady Naomi. Thank you, Collier, Lady Collier. Thank you so much for many of you. I can't see all the names, Minister Davis. Thank you so much for all of you for joining us tonight. The Lord bless you real good. And as we go into this week, Father, we thank you for every parent, every struggling widow. Father, we decree peace over them, the peace of God that passes all understanding. Thank you, Father, for renewing their minds that all is not lost. Thank you, Father, for empowering them that they are able to stand back up for many that see their lives as bitter. Father, thank you for changing their names. Thank you for giving them beauty for ashes. In the mighty name of Jesus, we have prayed. Thank you for provision. Thank you for many that will support the good work that Madame Goze is doing. Thank you for providing for as many that want to be a blessing. Thank you for rewarding them in Jesus' name. Wow.
Amen.
Thank you all so much. We bless you with the love of the Lord, and we will see you next Sunday back here again, 7 p.m. UK time and 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you. God bless you.